Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, folks, it has finally happened after many long months and even 3 years now of begging, waiting, pleading, and praying. At long last, the Digimon collab has finally made a return, back from the days of April Fool's 2021, where they bombshelled us out of nowhere with not one, not two, but three limited time special models that have always found their places in the hearts of Metarotters that have played this game since launch. And as if that wasn't enough, we also have the addition of 2 brand new models at base, might I add, gracing us with this special rerun and Season 2, essentially, of the Digimon collaboration. It was very heavily hinted that these 2 models that we're getting here of Apocalypse the End and Mugendra Borg are just the beginning, as we have probably at least 2 more weeks of brand new models yet to be even teased. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This week is absolutely jam-packed with a lot of exciting things that are incoming, not just for seasoned vets that have been around the corner a number of weeks or even months or years, but also for the newcomers just now coming in, seeing all these collaborations and going, man, I wish I had that model. Well, which granted, because this is going to be a very exciting several weeks going forward with the news that was just officially revealed. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners and who to expect. And might I say, it's going to be an exciting week for Metarotters with who we have incoming. The first of which that we're getting this week are both of the brand new models right off the top, which are DGM-03 Mugendra Borg, with a kit of Max Shot, Hypercharge Buster, Cross Shock, Biped Legs, and Weapon Master. And we also have DGM-04 Apocalypse the End, with a kit of Deathlock, Level Drain, Finest Chain, Float Legs, and a new leg ability called Pick On. Now, to explain Apocalypse the End briefly, because Mugendra Borg are all attacks that we've already seen and are immensely useful in a number of different assets and scenarios. Apocalypse the End is basically the new take and the new king on ailment fighting and making it as aggressive as possible. Minus Chain basically is like the new anti-effect that we've seen a handful of times in months previous, where for every negative debuff that the attack checks for and finds, it's a times 1.5 damage bonus stacking up to times 7. Where have you heard that times 7 before? That's right, the same damage bonus you can see on anti-air and anti-sea subjective bonuses. So that means if you want to play the game of Plague Master, this is a model you most certainly don't want to miss out on. And that's also not even touching on Pick On, which also stacks on that even higher. For every negative ailment that the user is able to successfully inflict, they get an all-stat boost to their leg stats, minus, of course, armor and heavy limit, stacking up to 5 times. So the more you play Plague Master and the more you enjoy playing Plague Master, and you get good at it, the faster, dodgier, and more resistant that you become the longer the fight drags on. Now, these 2 models, again, are the 2 brand new ones that they graced us with the first wave to see the Digimon collab make its grand return. And might I say, they are starting off on an incredibly strong foot just with these 2 models alone. Quite frankly, they could have left it at these 2 models and the mysterious new models that we should be seeing in future weeks, and honestly, everybody would have been 100% okay with that. But that's not where they chose to end it. In addition to the 2 new models here, Mugendra Borg and Apocalypse the End, we also have reruns for the first time in 3 years of the original 2 gacha banner models from the first wave of the Digimon collaboration. That is including DGM-0 Omega Knight with Dominion, Hyper Beam, Beam Sword, Biped Legs, and Auto Charge. And we also have DGM-01 Grey Wars with Perfect Guard, Double Charge Claw, Biped Legs, and Adversity. Now, in addition to them being part of the Digimon collab, you're probably wondering just how likely they are that these models are actually to be used, or even versatile if they're even collected. And they've chosen to take this a step further with this collaboration by introducing both the models with a full stat revamp going once this collaboration does go live. Because, being completely honest, you are correct. They did kind of fall off hard after a while, and you normally don't see a lot of their parts in competitive all that often, if at all. Even though you may or may not see one once in a while, they really weren't all that common compared to all the newer and far more powerful parts we've been getting. But they're getting an all-stat boost to definitely bring them up to speed, and in addition to this, both models are also getting the tune-up treatment, which is actually the first time in about 3 or 4 months, I think at last check, since the last model was given tune-up. So this means, as if the stat boost wasn't already enough, these models are going to get absolutely spoiled rotten with brand new specs and even better permanent bonuses you can unlock, including, for instance, extra bonuses to auto-charge for Omega Knight, and an extra head used for Grey Wars, which honestly is fantastic in and of itself. So these models are honestly going to be around through the entirety of the collaboration, which will be ending about mid to late November, so you have plenty of time to go after them, along with any other Digimon models that are released in the coming weeks. Now, with the boosted rates that are going live this week as well, it's going to be just a little bit lower key in comparison to all the hype and the fanfare around the Digimon models, but still exciting all the same. This week, we see a rerun for boosted rates of WEA-01 God Emperor with Break, Hyper Missile, Laser, Multi-Legs, and Auto Charge, and AZL-0 Salvation with Canceller, Double Ghost Shot, Float Legs, and Buoyance. And as a friendly reminder, God Emperor is also capable of tune-up as well, so as if he already wasn't enough of a weapon of mass destruction and everybody's favorite, very pissed-off Mantis Shrimp, he can get even meaner and more aggressive thanks to those additional tune-up bonuses. And as a friendly reminder, if you are trying to pull for either God Emperor or Salvation, do bear in mind that these boosted rates will apply across all banners. So if you're trying to pull for, say, Grey Wars as an example, you do have a chance to see God Emperor or Salvation in them as well. So don't focus too heavily on individual banners and just kind of expect these models as they come and as they decide to make themselves known. For Fierce Battles this week, it's going to be just a little bit lower key as well, but a lot of very versatile skills for males this week as well. Starting us up off on this top row, we have SKD-0 Sagoto with Beam, Double Hold, Biped Legs, and Captor. We have GLM-0 Sekizo with Triple Missile, Tank Legs, and Continuous P. And DGD-0 GO Death with Optic Guard, Double Sacrifice, Float Legs, and Mirage. On this bottom row, we have TOT-0 Yellow Turtle with Heater, Double Laser, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. We have GMN-0 Gemini with Optic Guard, Wave, Hold, Wheeled Legs, and Adapter, and JOK-0 Shootboard with Heater, Beam, Power Rifle, Biped Legs, and Aim. Now, I'm going to be real with you, I'm trying not to be biased this week because Shootboard's Power Rifle has been honestly an amazing game changer pretty much from the very launch of the game. So it honestly makes sense why he would be MVP of the week for that particular reason. It's a free power rifle that's, while expensive, is very useful to have in any given situation. But I do also have to give MVP of the week to Sekizo for a different reason. Normally, tank legs tend to fare very slowly and not very well in the mobility department for a lot of different reasons. Sekizo actually kind of compensates for his own weakness in that respect with continuous P. Basically, for every turn completed up to the first 5, he is progressively getting faster, so he will be able to keep the damage reduction and the slightly lower speed, but progressively make himself faster the longer the fight drags out. Other models are still very useful as well. Sagoto, for instance, for hold arms or even biped legs with Captor. Geodeath for sacrifice arms if you need someone that can do that on the fly. Yellow Turtle for tank legs with bullet rain if you need them. And Gemini for wheeled legs with adapter. So ultimately, aside from the two I mentioned, a lot of the models that are being highlighted this week are going to be there mostly for legs than anything else. But still worth farming all the same, just for the sake of having them in your libraries. Now to start us off on collaboration stuff, as you see here, we are getting the first 3 Metarotters teas officially revealed, as the PV only gave us just 1 reveal officially. But this week, we'll be seeing the introduction of 3 between Ikki, Koishimaru, and Azuma. Now for what the skills do, if you want to know, Collaboration Ikki in this respect will grant you a 50% CG bonus when breaking parts, and also boost your power by 40% for 1 turn. So this is going to be very good for your Metaforce reliant fighters that focus a lot on rely on charge gauge. So if you're able to break at least one thing, well, guess what? That's an extra 50% to your bonus upon breaking it, and a little extra power as icing on the cake. Koishimaru gives you a times 1.5 damage bonus and a 60% boost to your crit rate for that next turn, at the cost of having your melee resist for that same turn as well. So if you feel gutsy enough to take the shot and guarantee it be a crit, and you have someone to cover you on your backside from your wide open armor, Koishimaru is definitely going to be a very good asset for that as well. And Azuma will give you a halved damage incoming bonus for 2 hits or 4 turns, whichever comes first. So this is going to be a very good life insurance kind of Medarot in particular. So if you're fighting somebody that you know for a fact is going to be hitting you pretty notoriously hard, Azuma in this case will be just the guy to go after, because that half damage will really be able to come in handy. And if in the case that you do end up going those 2 to 4 turns, the life insurance is still better to have than not at all on a turn that you don't expect it. Now for the event stuff, as far as it is concerned, it's going to be a very busy and packed week as well for the first wave. For this first wave of the collaboration, we have the opportunity to earn the Machine Medal, which is a guard nature medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and defense, and leg mastery in biped, float, and wheel. You also can re-earn, or earn if you are just coming into the game, DGM02 Garuru Medal, who was the welfare bot from the first time the collaboration came around. Garuru Medal has a kit of Hyper Missile, Free Shot, Missile, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Weapon Master. And, much like Omega Knight and Grey Wars, Garuru Medal is also getting the tune-up treatment as well. So that alone will really be able to help boost him up a little bit, and give him just a little bit more of a kick back in the days where he was just barely skating by as it is, and in days where he's really long, hard fallen down and fallen back. This is going to be a very good way to bring him back up to speed, and especially for a lot of players that have been waiting for these models for a very, very long time. We can also earn 2 profile banners featuring Mugendra Borg and Apocalypse the End, and more limited time gacha tickets to celebrate us through this month. So it's going to be a very busy week overall, and honestly, I'm going to be real with you and say up front, a very busy month overall, leading up to the end of October, and even into mid-November as we hype up for Medarot Day. Now, the first wave of the event will be Score Attack, which means pure sets will be encouraged across the board to maximize your bonuses. As you see here, Mugendra Borg and Apocalypse the End will give you that 15% bonus per part. All 3 of the Digimon, the original Digimon collab models, Omega Knight, Grey Wars, and Garuru Medal at a 12% bonus each. You'll have Salvation, God Emperor, Excise, and Unitress at a 10% bonus each, and the Fierce Battles at a 6% bonus each. The Medarotters, on the other hand, this week Ikki will be getting that high bonus at a 10% overall for equipping him. Koishimaru and Azuma will give you a 7% bonus for the collab version. For the standard SR versions, it'll be a 5% bonus per Medarotter equipped. For the N rank, it'll be 3% and 1% for the N rank Medarotters. So honestly, I really don't think this event's going to be super difficult, primarily for a lot of the veterans who have actually been around the corner a number of times, or even collected the models the first time they came around. Those might be few and far between, because this collab has been a long time coming being completed. With you. A lot of people have been begging and pleading for a Digimon run once again, so we will have to see how the event unfolds and how generous that the event will end up being overall. But I do wish you all the best of luck on your gacha banners, because there are quite a number of them, being completely real with you this week, to start us up on a very hyped and very strong foot going into the start of this collaboration. We also have the opportunity to complete a limited time Super Invasion, of course, much like par for the course for previous collabs, this time featuring Mugendra Borg and Apocalypse the End in particular. I do highly expect it's going to be a very easy in and out, just overclocked enemy medals. So basically, go in with your best teams, or even your Meta League team, sweep the missions, and then you walk out with 10 rubies and your profile plate as well. There are also limited time event missions going live as well for opportunities for extra ruby shards and gacha tickets, so do make sure you complete those where you get the chance. But, being real with you, it really shouldn't be too terribly difficult, though, because it's really nothing more than just farming the event and maybe even the Super Invasion just to say you did it. Nothing more, nothing less, easy rubies and easy rewards. Now, one other thing that was mentioned and teased in the PV was the option for skins for a couple of the models. This time around, both the skins are going to be paid, so unfortunately they are going to be just a little pricey, kind of, maybe, at about 29 to about 3,600 yen per bundle, which really isn't a whole lot, being completely real with you. But you have the opportunity to buy a Gomamon-style skin for Metabee and an Evil Rex-style skin for Grey Wards. But now, granted, both the skins are optional. You do not need them in order to play the game or even have the models, but bear in mind, if you buy the skin, you do not have the bot. So that means if you buy the Evil Rex skin for Grey Wars but do not have Grey Wars, it's going to sit pretty in your inventory and your library until you do. So just do bear that in mind. But there was also one other really big bonus that was being offered by Imagineer for this particular collaboration, and that is the purchase of a very, very special limited time Gacha Ticket. For about 3,600 yen or thereabout, you have the opportunity for a Gacha Ticket that guarantees you Grey Wars or Omega Knight. Now, this is actually the first in a and honestly, probably even forever, that Imagineer has done something like this to guarantee specific models, especially for a very fair price too, might I add. So I am going to very openly advocate that you try to push for this if you get the opportunity, because not only are both these models reruns, so if they leave, we probably will not see them again, but for the models in particular, they are still very powerful all the same, and you probably will not see another opportunity for a free bot of choice, essentially, between options, much like this one. You can purchase this ticket as well as other bonuses on the web store, which there will be a link in the description below. All you need to do is punch in your player ID, and you can basically buy online and have the gift sent directly to your game through the in-game mail. I do highly recommend you push for this as well because, again, it's basically a free bot, so if you've had terrible gacha luck, well, I can guarantee you that with this, you can walk out with Garuru Medal and at least Omega Knight or Grey Wars as your additional compensation. Now, stepping away from game stuff though, because that was honestly quite a lot of stuff to unpack, we are also always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, Medarot 3 is still in that completive state, as time is still being put into work into decompiling Medarot 4. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be willing to lend a hand, feel free to reach out to us, join our Discord in the link provided below, ask around, and we'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. Now, if you are not knowledgeable in any of those things, or do not know anybody but still want help, I am leaving a link to my dear friend Variant's crowdfunding down below in the comments in the description as well, where you can donate to help him pay for commission services to translate some of the extra lines, and just take a little bit of the workload off the translators, because it is a lot of text, and there will be progressively more text the more games that get translated, and any help that is offered will be any help very openly received. Another friendly reminder is the Ori Meta Contest that is still ongoing in the Project Rising Beetle Discord server, in the comments below. This contest is about a little over 2 weeks in now, and we've gotten just a small amount of entries thus far, but still very exciting all the same. Friendly reminder, the theme for this one is RPG, so pull out your old gaming consoles and your D&D character pages, because this is the opportunity for you to have some real fun with a custom design of your choice fitting in this theme for a design contest. The winners will have a hand-drawn concept art done by yours truly on a stream, so that they have another extra piece of their specialized model to enjoy, and as a celebration of the contest. I would love to see a lot of entries by the time that this ends, and on the very next week that the contest does end, I will be reviewing all the entries personally on my channel before I reveal the winners. So excited to see more information on that. You will see the rules in the Discord server. Do make sure you pay attention to those and double check on them before you submit your entries. Another really big piece of news I'm going to be actively advocating for leading up to its official reveal is my What is Medarot collaboration, featuring my friends Sane, Gold, Toad, Helmchan, and Vector, that will be all gracing their appearances on my channel as we host a very special welcome introductory kind of session and hangout, where we answer all the questions as to what exactly Medarot is, where it came from, and what exactly made it so popular, and just all the extra little bit of lore pieces that we as a Western community have missed out on through the years due to lack of translation. I'm very excited to be able to host for that. I am still asking friends of mine, especially just for mostly feedback on everything as I'm putting it together, but it's going to be a very exciting time, and I'm chomping at the bit to have that collaboration put together. Do make sure you tune in with me on my channel on November 16th, that is a Saturday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I am not decided if it will be on either here on YouTube or on Twitch. Do make sure you follow me on YouTube if you here on YouTube or on Twitter to make sure you stay in the know of that. Now, one other piece of news I have not done for a while is our Art of the Week here on the MNN. This piece here by Twitter user Madama Usagi that was done fairly recently to celebrate everyone's favorite original Grey Wolf type, Ashton. I honestly love Madama's work, and I honestly it'll never cease to amaze me, honestly, with the amount of detail and the very clean designs that they do. I love their art overall. And this one here by Twitter user MNK Shiki, the designer for everyone's favorite zombie boy, Dead Dog, but this time specializing in something to kind of keep him in the spirit for Halloween and the spooky month. And honestly, not that he really needed to dress up or anything, because he already was a very spooky boy as it was, but it is always adorable to see more art of everyone's favorite Dead Dog as well. Definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their art in your feeds. One final reminder is that I am always open for commission as well, so if you are looking for any art of a live 2D VTuber model ready to rig, live 3D models fully rigged, textured, the whole, everything in the kitchen sink ready to go for drag and drop, I can do standard art, I can do emotes. I am absolutely love to try to make something happen with you. So feel free to reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. But with all that being said, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode, and like I said, it was quite a bit to unpack, so it is going to be a very busy several weeks going into late October into early November, and I'm only expecting it to get even busier going forward. But with that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabot Forever community on there as well, which is nearing 40,000 members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you will hear anything before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also follow me personally on Twitter at Isagamikura. So if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love to stop in and say hello, if you'd like to collaborate with me, or if you'd like to commission me for art, I always leave my DMs open for that very reason, and I don't expect to close them anytime soon. So don't be a stranger, feel free to stop on in and say hello, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends of mine a follow in the Medarot community as well. Twitter user Pikugatu and Sadanfo Iro. Pikugatu, much like Madama Usagi and Shiki, also do a lot of wonderful designs and art, and I love the sketch-like designs that Pikugatu does as well. My friend Sadanf, on the other hand, does a lot of meta-tubing stuff, much like I do here on YouTube and on Twitter, archiving a lot of the older games, information, breakdowns, or everything else of the like. They do a lot of the good work for the Medarot community as well on the Japan side, and I have come to them a number of times for feedback and information, so we most certainly try to make something happen between us as necessary. But, with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do, and until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.